It's actually a bit of a dream team that you've assembled there at Nebula. You've got people like Richard Eglon and you've got Pete Murphy and other people in the team as well. So that's a really positive thing, but moving from a good thing to more of a negative thing, which is the toughness of the market, which we can still see in the results of channel partners in the middle of the year. It doesn't seem to be getting any better. What's your view? And Nebula's obviously going through a massive growth ramp, but as you look at your partners, are things getting any easier?
Generally, the economy is quite tough. I think there's a lot of macroeconomic problems that are perhaps creating that and affecting market confidence, perhaps affecting areas of investment stuff. So I think it's tough out there, but perhaps putting a positive on a negative, I'm always a believer there's always business out there. There's always business, and perhaps you've got to work a little harder for it. You've got to be a bit more focused. You've got to be a bit more determined to achieve it. And I think we as Nebula have been very, very focused on where our strengths are and our addressable market, and tend to not deviate too far away from that. And I think that's part of the reason why we've been successful. The global economic situation is going to be challenging for a little while. Obviously, we've got the US election coming up in November. Who knows what's going to happen with that? And there's the uncertainty around that. There's still a number of conflicts in different parts of the world that have an impact in terms of market confidence. So I think for the short-term foreseeable future, I think the market is still going to be quite tough because of those things. But I think it's a great opportunity. And I think the strong organizations that have the ability to focus on what makes them successful, what makes them good, really have that focus, perhaps not do some of the peripheral things within their business that perhaps take away valuable money and resource from the core things, and have a good suite of services, good suite of products, good suite of propositions. I think they'll do okay because, as I said, there's always business out there. There always is, and there's new economies coming out. Obviously, the explosion of AI type technologies, and I think lots of organisations are struggling with how to figure out how to monetize AI and what that means to their business. And I think, from a business process automation perspective, I think there's an opportunity to become a lot more efficient using things like AI technology. So I think for the foreseeable future, because of the macroeconomic and global uncertainty, I think the economy is going to be tough. But there are opportunities out there, and I think it's in these scenarios having a real crystal clear strategy and a crystal clear focus and staying on point with it. I think the companies that do that, in my humble opinion, will do better than those that try and diversify and chase rainbows and butterflies. Because, as I said, I don't think that's the strategy in perhaps a slightly more depressed market as it is. So yeah, and as I said, and I think the reason we've been successful is that laser focus. We're really focused on what we do, and we try and be the best at what we do, and every day we work really hard to achieve that. And our numbers would indicate that's paying dividends. But I wish I could sit here and say, I think the rest of 2024, 2025, it's going to be, double-digit economic growth. Sadly, I don't see that. I think it is going to be tough because of all those problems. But there's still a lot of business out there, and there's still a lot of opportunity.
No, for sure. And apologies for bringing the mood down with that question. So,
no problem.
More positive question. What would you say has been your high point of the year so far?
One of the things that's really important in Nebula is the culture of the company and the culture of the people. And obviously, we have a dispersed workforce in the US, in India, parts of Southeast Asia, and obviously the UK. And one of the things that we do every year is we bring the team together where we have an annual company kickoff. We did it in Doha in Qatar in June this year. And I love that 2 or 3 day period where we get the whole team together, or most of the team certainly, and I just sit back and watch the engagement between peers and colleagues and stuff. And these are people that day to day don't meet one another. They're thousands of miles apart, but every day work very, very closely to deliver the services and the outcomes that our customers want. So watching that engagement, and we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of down and social time when we do these kickoffs, and just seeing the engagement of my team, seeing how excited people get to get together and share a drink, share a meal, share a laugh together. That for me is always one of the highlights. And this year was probably the best kickoff we've ever managed to do. The location was immense, the structure and everything was fabulous. But seeing the response from the team and seeing how much they enjoyed it, seeing how much they got out of it, seeing how engaged they are in the things that we're trying to do as an organisation, that will take some topping, I think. And for me, as I said, worth every penny we invest in it. And I see it as an investment. I don't see it as a cost, because I'm investing in the people, and I'm investing in the culture, and I'm investing in the collaboration. And for a fly on the wall to watch that, and I quite often play that fly on the wall and in the role, it's amazing to watch. And the feedback that I always get from the team and my colleagues and stuff afterwards, how much they enjoy the event, it's an amazing experience. So for me, so far that would be right up there.